Hello there, folks. It is a grey morning here in Sundsvall right now. Though it isn't that cold, it's not no wind or anything, so I thought it was a good idea to do this video right here, right now. It has been a very interesting month since the last vinyl CD update I did. And I managed to find a pretty good stuff since last time. So I thought it was a good idea to do a vinyl CD update right now. It has been a couple of special occasions, so I have sorted them out. That first I take the regular stuff I found on thrift stores and so. Then I take the occasions where I have bought a lot of records. Not the usual sorting by CDs and singles and albums and so on. But start with the singles from thrift stores and so on. This is a Swedish singer that I've shown before, Liljenfors. It is a Swedish version of a song called If You Can Put That in a Bottle, which in Sweden was translated to En man I byrån, a man in the drawer, but it became a huge hit in Sweden. So Liljenfors, En man I byrån, a Swedish schlager classic. So where to put among all these? We have Eric Clapton, Bad Love. Eric Clapton's 80s. I'm one of the few who think that is more interesting than his 60s or 70s. But my taste doesn't isn't. It's a little bit different than others, I guess. So Bad Love from 1989. We have the Ritchie Family. Disco, which actually is produced by Jacques Morali, who is maybe even more famous for producing another disco band in a whole different style, Village People. Ritchie Family is another more style. It's a little bit more 70s disco with a little soul somewhere at the edges, and this B-side, Bad Reputation, is really good, so really felt I wanted this. Put Your Feet on the Beat. To the beat is the main side. Danish music. Debbie Cameron and Tommy Zebach. This is music from the Eurovision Song Contest in 1981. 81, yes. They had a song called L.A. Curly or Not. So as I collect Eurovision Song Contest songs, I was like, of course I gotta have this one. We have CDs. This was very interesting to find. This is Bill Champlin, and Bill Champlin is, of course, a member of Chicago. He was the one who took over after Peter Cetera. He sang on one of the biggest hits, Look Away. And he also sang on a few songs on, I think it was Chicago 16. This is a solo album from 1990, or album or EP. I don't know. Wikipedia want to label it as an album, but it only contains 5 tracks that are no longer than ordinary. But it looks like more like an EP. But okay, let's label it as a full length then. So you can see Japanese release, and this is really great album with a lot of horns and rocky feeling, and I really like this one. Will Champlin has a great voice also. Bought yesterday, Duke Ellington, Duke's Mood. Released on something called Rocking Chair. But really something to have. Recording from 1956, looks to be a Spanish release. This is a Swedish jazz with a musician born in Finland. I've shown him before a couple of times, and with albums that is among the best jazz that has been released from 25 years and forward. This is Hacke Björksten and the album The Party's On. And you look at that, it is signed. So this is his autograph. It's released on one of my absolute favorite Swedish labels, Dragon of Sweden. And it's going to be very interesting. Swedish jazz quartet. This is a classic that I have since before on vinyl. This is Count Basie's automatic, but this is the complete automatic. The reason for this is that it contains, of course, the 11 tracks that are on the vinyl, but the complete means that there are 5 more tracks. So I will most likely give away the vinyl version that contains only the 11 ordinary tracks and keep the CD version with the 16 tracks. Out of space, of course. This one is a little bit more interesting. This one I never knew existed. I found it yesterday. I was puzzled. What is this? This is Elton John and Tim Rice's Aida. Apparently a musical that they did for Walt Disney after Lion King. Elton John didn't want to do any more music for Disney movies, but Disney talked him into at least do a musical together with Tim Rice, who of course has some experience with musicals. This is though not the regular songs from that soundtrack, or it is songs that the songs is from what I understand from the musical, but not the artist, because this he released prior the opening of that musical. He released an album where different artists actually sings songs from that one, and all songs, of course, then is written by Elton John and Tim Rice. And we have artists like Sting, Tina Turner, Spice Girls, Janet Jackson, together with Elton John, Boyz II Men, Shania Twain, Heather Headley and Sherry Scott. I don't know who these are. Lenny Kravitz, James Taylor, Elton John and Lulu. What a combination. Kelly Price, Drew Hill. So these artists are not in the musical, but Elton John saw the timing to make some money out of this anyway. So it's going to be very, very interesting. And Harry James. This is an album originally released on a double vinyl. This CD is normal one CD. First team player on the Jazz Varsity. It is a great album. There are some flaws here and there, some stuff that aren't just as interesting, but overall a great big band album with the recordings from the first half of 1940s with the same say. So, vinyl, we have first Earl Hines solo tour de force on Black Lion Records. This is, from what I understand, an original, 1973, recording from 72, and he plays all by himself. Though there are a CD version that even also here contains more tracks than this. So most likely this is living on borrowed time. If I find that CD, this one might hit the door, but it's still great to find an original copy of this one. We have a band that I showed before. You might remember a sleeve that I showed with whiskey glass and a band called Iceland. They only, from what I understand, released 2 albums, and now I managed to find the other one. That one was from 86. This is from 1982. And this is called Breaking the Ice. This one I listened to. It is a really nice AOR style. A little rock, early 80s rock, but still AOR style. This is a great album, and it's also released on blue vinyl. Nanny Porres, a Swedish jazz singer that has been since the 50s. She sang with one of Sweden's very few hard bop bands called Jazz Club 57, Jazz Club 57. And a lot of members from that band also plays on this one, her solo album, released back in 1976. This was actually on my wish list because I heard some tracks from this one on old radio shows, and I got very, very interested. So it's sounds very, very relaxing Swedish jazz that I do like, for 70s jazz it also sounds not all that experimental. So it is going to be very, very interesting. A couple of years back, I showed a blind buy by a band fronted by a woman called Tamara and the Scene, and that blind buy was from 1986. It was produced by Jesse Johnson from the time, and it was really, really funky with some Prince feeling. It was one of the better blind buys I have done in recent times, and I was happy to manage to find a full album by Tamara and the Scene. This is Blueberry Gossip. This is from 1988, so that song is not on here. But Quick Peek says that it's just as funky, still produced by Jesse Johnson from the time. So it's very soulish, very funky, so this is going to be very, very interesting. If Tamara and the Scene keeps for an entire album, which I have no doubt that she won't. We got another City Boy, and this is Dinner at the Ritz from 1977. Then we come to some special occasions, starting with a fair that has been a kind of a nostalgia fair that was held in at our shopping city outside of our main city, called Bista, and they were selling their video games, action figures, that kind of stuff, and some sold also records. And I managed to find some really, really great stuff there. First of all, the Guess Who. After the last album of time by them, Flavors, that was really, really great. I've gotten taste for Guess Who. So this is Power in the Music. And it is from 1975. Really nice concept for sleep. So I hope this is just as good as Flavors. Bruce Springsteen, Darkness on the Edge of Town, 1978. And more Bruce Springsteen, but earlier, from 1973, The Wild, the Innocent, and the E Street Shuffle. No, they are not vinyl versions, but I'm not picky. We have Bananarama, Pop Life. This is Bananarama that were on their way out of the Stockache and Waterman. This is from 1991. It contains Preacher Man, the cover of Doobie Brothers' Long Train Running, and so on. I could listen to Quick Fix. This sounds very, very good. I thought it would be Bananarama a bit after their greatness, but it sounds really, really great, actually. Elton John, Songs from the West Coast, from 2001. This is the album where he worked again with Bernard Taupin for the first time in many years. And Bargoon. This is Deep Purple, Perfect Stranger Live. This is a 3-disc containing 2 CDs and 1 DVD. It was sealed when I bought it, and it is really, really nice. Perfect shape, of course, as it was new when I bought it. And it only costed me $2. 20 Swedish kronor. $2. So now we have the third occasion. There is a thrift store in Sundsvall that is about to shut down. They have 50% off on all their stuff. I've shown them before. It is that thrift store where they have records that have been written on the sleeves that they're taking a way too high price for. I think that is one of the reasons why they're shutting down, because most of their stuff are way too expensive for their own good. But I managed to find some stuff that was good. Of course, it was 50% off. I tried to find some full-length vinyl that wasn't all that written on, and I managed to find singles that was some written on, but for 50 cents to $1, I thought it was pretty okay. I'm not that picky when it comes to 70s singles, especially those that doesn't have a picture sleeve. As long as it is in good shape, the record itself. But first, a CD, Thelonious Monk, Forever. This is released on Bonnier label Amigo. I have one previous from this label, Sonny Rollins. might look like a low budget, but Bonnier is one of the biggest labels in Sweden, though they normally give out books. But this is interesting stuff that contains 50s recordings. The saloon is small. Very, very interesting. So we have 7 inches. I'm no huge buyer of Elvis Presley. On full length, I feel like I have the Presley I need with Elvis in Memphis and the comeback special, and I have a Christmas album. I feel that's pretty much enough. But there are some singles that I'm interested in because of nostalgia reasons from my teen years. And this one is an Elvis song that I remember that I think is actually pretty good. There are many classics with Elvis I'm sick and tired of. They're way overplayed. But this is an exception. This is It's Now or Never, or Usule Mio. It's actually, I like the arrangement, I like the sound of this one. Make Me Know It on the B-side. We have Brian Ferry, You Go to My Head. I have the album for this one, but it's nice to have the 7-inch also. And we have Remake, Remodel on the B-side. And the cars keep passing by. We have some soul, of course. This is Tavares, The Ghost of Love, from 78. And it's part 2 of the same song at the B-side. 10cc, Donna, and Hot Sun Rock. I know many wonders, why is he writing on these? I don't like it, but the guy, Chris, was a DJ, and I assume he wrote it out of for work. Easy to find the song if it says like here, easy to find it, and writing on the records for the tempo and so on. Of course, it's for DJing reasons. Though I wish he would have used a better way, because he would have realized that these records were going somewhere eventually, sooner or later, from his collection. But still, it's nice to have a 10cc on 7-inch. We have something that I don't think I ever seen. This is actually a 7-inch by Moody Blues. Of course, I know there are 7 inches. Of course, they must have released, but I haven't seen one. I started to collect Moody Blues, but still, I haven't seen one myself. This is Just a Singing Rock and Roll Band from 7th Sojourn, 1972, for My Lady on the B-side. So nice to find, actually. This is a band that I have heard some tracks with, but I haven't paid much attention to it until now. The Brecker Brothers, and I felt like, well, why not? I give it a chance, since it's only costed 50 cents. If you want a boogie, forget it. Sounds like it should be made for me, that title. This is from 1976. And that song is not that interesting. But the B-side, Slick Stuff. Oh boy, this is a really, really great, smooth, jazz, soul, funk, instrumental song. And this one is really, really great. So I will start check up more on the Brecker Brothers. Pretty much like it's Tower Power or the Blood, Sweat and Tears and so on. More soul. The Emotions, Walking the Line. The problem with these Columbia releases from the 70s is that it doesn't say which is A or B side. But Walking the Line and Ain't No Doubt About It on the B side, on the other side, from the album Sunbeam, and I think I have. These are produced by Morris White from Earth, Wind and Fire, of course. So I couldn't leave that one behind, even though I felt like it was more. I'm not picky at 7-inch singles without a sleeve, I said, but I felt like even this might be a little too much, but I couldn't leave Emotions behind. We have a Boss Skaggs. I have one Boss Skaggs album since before. This is a 7-inch from 1976 and the Silk Degrees album. Once again, a Columbia release, doesn't say which A or which B. What can I say? And We're All Alone. This one was kind of a blind buy, but it costed 50 cents, so why not? This is a lady called Katie Deeds and a song called Seesaw. The reason why I got interested in it is because it's produced by Ian Brody, who, for all you indie pop fans, know that he's known more as Lightning Seeds. And it sounds like I was hoping it would. Really great British indie pop style. So this one will stay in the collection, no doubt. And we have the Doobie Brothers, Real Love, from 1980. And as you can see, he has pointed out which one is Michael McDonald. This one I think I have. This one, one step closer, I have that album. So, and 2 full-length vinyls, as I said. A couple of years back I bought this. I didn't know that Mike Rutherford from Genesis and Michael and the Mechanics had released a solo album back in 1982. But I bought halfway there. And it was really, really great. And it started to make me feel like maybe I should keep my eyes out for the album. And I found that one. So even though this is acting very strange, so even though Chris has left his mark on it, of course, and this one costed $2.50, but I wanted to have this one still, as this single was so great, and I wanted to have. It's not an album I see every day, actually, the solo album of Mike and Rutherford from Genesis. So I felt like I've got to have this one, no matter what. It isn't all that much written, so I can bear with it. And finally, an album that isn't written at all. Write my cross in the sky. This is Wilton Felder from the Crusaders. You know, Street Life. And an album called Gentle Fire. And no, I don't know why his hand is burning. But this is smooth jazz soul, my style. It's going to be very, very interesting. I have an album since before by Wilton Felder, so I'm going to have high hopes for this one. So, within 1.5 weeks, not this Saturday, but next Saturday, they are record pairs. So I will come back with stuff from there at least. So I hope that you have enjoyed this little vinyl CD update this gray morning. So until next time, have a really nice time, no matter where you are, no matter what you do. Take care and so long.